Adam, is it Khan or Can?
Hi. Good morning to the committee. My name is Adam Kahn. I blog at the website Conman's Musings, and I am testifying against this bill. Before I get started, I just want to say that politics sometimes makes strange bedfellows, but for those of you who know me, you should know that for me to be testifying on the same side of an issue as President Fenves and the Texas X's does not happen very often. But they say that everyone is allowed to oppose a bill for their own reasons, and I have my own reasons for opposing this bill that I have not heard addressed yet in this committee. The city of Austin faces a chronic housing shortage that has been getting successively worse over the past 5 to 7 and even 10 years. It's a fairly obvious problem where you have supply being essentially held constant, demand continuing to increase, and therefore prices are going up. The city of Austin, according to its own strategic housing plan, needs to build 135,000 units of housing in the next decade. Truth be told, that number is actually way low. We probably need to build closer to somewhere to 200,000 to 250,000 over the next decade to truly bring prices under control. And it's in that spirit that I think having prime real estate in West Austin permanently taken off of the market as a golf course is an act of insanity. There's no reason to have a golf course on prime real estate, and we shouldn't be creating greater bureaucratic obstacles to getting this land into the housing supply where it really should be. You're asking, do I think it should be a golf course? No, I don't. And I think that we should be keeping this at the local level between the university, the city, and the various people who are involved in this discussion so that we can begin to bring our housing costs in the city of Austin under control. I think this is a prime This is the equivalent of another project that was in the very controversial locally over the last couple of years called the Grove at Shoal Creek. It's again an example of a prime location where you could build lots of units of housing in a way that is accessible to the entire city. And that is why I think taking it out of circulation would be a terrible idea. Finally, I just want to address one thing that I heard in other people's testimony that I think is worth addressing, which is the issue of traffic. And here's the dirty little secret about how traffic really emerges. Traffic happens when people have to travel long distances from where the jobs are to where the housing is. That gets them on the highways. Having residential construction in prime areas that is walking distance or even a reasonable bus ride from downtown, this is where we want to be building housing. If you don't build the housing here, your people are going to be traveling to Westlake, to Lakeway, North Austin. That's why we have traffic now. We need more housing in Central Austin, and that's why we shouldn't be moving forward with this bill. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Questions? Mr. Khan. Representative Bills.
Mr. Quant, question for you. With that rationale, Grand Central Park in New York, should that be apartment complexes? I mean, following your same rationale?
I assume you're referring to Central Park, not Grand Central Station.
Yeah, Central Park, sorry.
I think it's funny you should ask that because I'm from New York City originally. I think that...
So therefore there'd be plenty of housing and no traffic.
I would say if the city of Austin were able to successfully achieve a level of density similar to Midtown Manhattan in Central Austin, then I think that might be a conversation worth having. But in the present situation where you have 6,000 square foot lot requirements in the central part of the city, I think that while you ask an interesting question in the abstract, it is essentially irrelevant to the current situation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Khan. All right.